In today's video, I'm going to give you the perfect formula to help you answer the question that hiring managers and recruiters like myself love to ask. Your weakness is not a strength in disguise, or do you want to turn a weakness into a strength? For example, if you're saying you're a workaholic, or you have a strong work to play ratio, or you don't know how to switch off and you're constantly working, these answers won't cut it. To a hiring manager, they will honestly see right through these answers. You're not actually answering the question that they're trying to ask you. The reason why you don't want to tell the recruiter or the hiring manager these answers because it doesn't actually tell them anything, and they will be able to see right through your answers 100% of the time. Whenever I interview a client or a candidate that I'm putting through a recruitment process, I'm asking this particular question to see if they're honest, to see if they're self-aware on their flaws and how are they actually improving on these flaws. Although, don't get it twisted, there are certain situations where a strength in a particular profession may count as a weakness in another profession. For example, the strengths of a software developer may be different to those as a primary school teacher. Okay, so this is super important. When you're describing your weakness, you don't want to mention anything that will actually disqualify you to the job that you're applying to. For example, if you're going for a sales role, then you don't want to mention that you're introverted and you're shy and you have a hard time establishing new relationships. Or if you're going for a software developer role, it may not be wise to mention that you hate solving complex problems, as that's probably all you'll be doing. Framing a weakness positively can be quite challenging, but when you combine this with a self-awareness action plan, you can quickly stand apart from other candidates applying to the same role. So you want to mention something that shows that you're not perfect, you have the ability to recognize a skill that you're lacking, and you're interested in developing that skill. So here are some examples that's going to help you understand what weaknesses you could mention when you get asked this question. First one I would say is, I have trouble saying, oh my god. So, I'm going to give you a few examples that will be able to help you structure your perfect answer. I have trouble saying no. From an employer's perspective, this is amazing because someone who is willing to help is an asset. This asset could be a weakness because you could end up submitting work late because you've spent too much time helping others. Share how you're working to be better at organizing your own tasks and how much time you can actually spare to help others. So, as an example during the interview, my greatest weakness is that sometimes I have trouble saying no to requests and I end up taking on more than I can actually handle. I have a clear schedule that lists all my projects and I keep my calendar up to date, so I can see how much work I have at the moment and understand when I have time to help others. See, with that example, you've demonstrated your problem, your weakness, and how are you improving that over time and what actions you took to improve. Every person has something they could always improve at and gain more experience in. Sharing that you want to gain more experience in a relevant skill shows to the hiring manager that you're self-aware in that challenge. Make sure, however, you don't mention a skill that you need drastic improvement on. That is important for the role because they may eliminate and disqualify you on that. So another weakness that you could say, maybe you're going for a leadership role and you can talk about actually delegating. This is something that you may not have done before, so it's something that you could always improve on. So here's the example. I'm incredibly self-motivated and sometimes I find it difficult to delegate responsibility when I feel like I can finish the task well myself. However, when I became manager in my last role, it became critical I learned to delegate tasks. To maintain a sense of control when delegating tasks, I implemented a project management system. This helped me oversee the progress of the project. This system enabled me to improve my ability to delegate efficiently. This answer allows you to demonstrate the ability that you are self-aware and you have the ability to adapt to new situations. You didn't know how to delegate, but you put a project management system in place and that helped you be a better delegator. Additionally, with this example, you are able to showcase the level of initiative and leadership when you manage to successfully implement a new process. Okay, this next example directly relates to me, and this is honestly something that I work on near enough all the time. So personally, I have a problem actually understanding the balance of asking for help and trying to solve a problem myself. If I'm given a problem in front of me, I like to work independently and actually try and figure out how does this problem work and what's the best way in order to solve this problem. Being independent can be a positive quality, but it's best to know when to ask for help. This can make sure that tasks are done efficiently and within the time limit. If you're using this as a weakness, then make sure that you get them to understand that you know that asking for help is always a good idea and how you're trying to get better at it. So here's my example that I always give. Because I'm independent and I love figuring out problems by myself, sometimes I struggle with asking for help when I need it. I understand that at any organisation there are experts around me that have specific knowledge and skills where I can learn from. Whilst I'm still working on it, I've been able to produce better work in a more time efficient way as a result of getting help from those around me. Let's recap in answering what is your biggest weakness. This question, you shouldn't mention a strength that is in disguise, as hiring managers will see right through it. Successfully answering this question takes practice and preparation. You want to share a weakness that is situational, that won't affect your day-to-day at work when you're hired. Make sure you mention how you're working on it and how much you've improved. Rewatch this video, take a look at these examples, maybe write down the examples and try and figure out your own structure. Maybe mention a specific situation where you've had to mention a weakness and how you've improved from that and what would you have done differently. So yeah, if you found this useful, then honestly let the YouTube algorithm know. Hit that like button, it really helps out the channel, can't stress that enough. And if you want more content like this, then subscribe. I'm going to be covering other questions that get asked during an interview. And honestly, in the comments, I'm curious to understand what's your biggest weakness. Thank you for watching, and if you have an interview tomorrow, next week, good luck. You'll absolutely smash that interview. Yeah, good luck. Peace.
Oh, it's recording right now.